Welcome. Thank you for joining me today for yoga that can be done at your desk at work. So we're going to start with some eye exercises. We've only ever really worked with the physical body before with asana and with the breath, but we haven't worked with the eyes, and it's really important to exercise the muscles of your eyes. To begin with, bring your thumb and reach it up towards the ceiling as though you were going hitchhiking. Very dangerous thing to do, don't do it. Take your thumb and bring it towards your nose so that you can just see the tip of your thumb before it goes really blurry. And then as you exhale, extend the thumb away from you, looking at the tip the whole time, and then bring it back in towards you. So extending your arm and then bringing it back in. One more time, extending the arm and bringing it back in. And this time, as you extend your arm away from you, change your gaze from looking at the thumb to looking at the far distance, and then back to your thumb. And then bring the thumb back in towards your nose and extend it away again. Look into the far distance and then back to the thumb. Keep that going. Moving the thumb in and out. And then changing to look into the far distance where you extend your hand away from you. And then bring it back to the thumb. And bring the thumb in towards the nose. So we're exercising the muscles of our eyes. Eyes on the thumb as it pulls in, as it moves away. And then eyes looking as far away from you as you can. So have a view that is unobstructed if you can, out at least a couple of 100 meters if possible. So looking out a window if you're able to. Otherwise down the length of the office if you don't have a window near you. And then from here, we're going to change this pose. We're going to take both hands into hitchhiker thumb. Bring them in front of the body, thumbs facing up. Look at the right thumb and keep your gaze on that right thumb, but keep your head steady as you bring the thumb out to the side, just until you start to lose the visibility of the thumb, and then bring it back. Changing sides, take your thumb to the left, watching the left thumb, that is, to the left, watching the thumb the whole time, and then bring it back. Notice how far you can take the arm each time before you start to lose visibility of the thumb. Keep the head facing directly forward. Move slowly, as slow as you need to. Make sure the shoulders are relaxed. Try to avoid turning your head. Alternating sides. This is a really good exercise to do in the morning. Before the sun comes up, it's actually recommended. But just whenever you can, get the muscles of the eyes functioning well. And then the next one, you'll need to be standing for. So come off your seat, or if you're on a yoga mat and you're unobstructed, you could be kneeling as well. Again with the thumb, we're going to take the thumb up as high as you comfortably can, where you can see it without lifting your chin. And then begin to circle the thumb around. So we're watching it the whole time, keeping it in our line of sight. And as you're doing this, as you're circling your thumb, I'm just going to turn sideways. You can see my other arm is going to come up the back with the back of the hand to the spine. So we're getting eyes exercised at the same time as we're opening the front of our shoulder, front of our left shoulder. Take the hand as far as you comfortably can up the back until you feel that gentle sense of stretching in the front of the shoulder. And change direction, circling the other way. Continuing to breathe. Get to the top, pause. We're going to change sides. So this time the right hand comes up the back, or the opposite of what you did last time. Left hand out in front of you, thumb up. Take the hand up And begin to circle. It doesn't matter which way you go because we're going to go both directions. Notice if it feels any different using this hand. You won't be able to come as far one way, but you'll be able to go further the other way. Again, resist turning your head. Let your eyes do all the work. And notice sometimes there might be a little spot where you just lose sight of the thumb. It almost becomes blank. See if you can keep that thumb in your vision the whole time. And then change direction, circling the other way. One more full circle. If you're watching this later, you might like to pause and do a few more rounds. It's good to do about 12 to 20. Shake out your arms now, shake out the legs a little bit. And then this next pose, you can do kneeling on your yoga mat, or if you've got a seat that will allow you to, you can kneel onto the seat, you can stay standing, or you can sit on the edge of the seat. Bring your arms out to either side, coming into Garudasana arms. Let your eyes have a moment to close, just to rest them after all that exercise. And then as you exhale, bring your forearms towards each other, crossing the left elbow over top of the right. And as you inhale, lift the elbows up as far as you comfortably can, as though you're trying to bring the hands to the crown of the head. I'll turn sideways so you can see that. Lifting them up. Then as you exhale, bring the elbows down towards the knees, so you're rounding your back here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. A little bit of a stretch to get the elbows towards the knees. We're not trying to bring it in towards the belly. We're trying to keep that length in the front side of the body. Inhale to lift. Exhale to lower. And then coming back upright, tilt your forearms now to the left-hand side. So if you've got your left elbow on top, that will make sense. It'll be really uncomfortable if you have your arms the other way. So tilt the way that's appropriate for you. And the head tilts the opposite direction. Right ear to right shoulder if you've gone the same way as me. And take some slow, deep breaths here. Keep a lift through the elbows. If you notice your arms are starting to drop towards the belly, maintain that lift. So we're getting space in the upper back, particularly into the rhomboids, that muscle between the spine and the shoulder blades that tends to get a little bit tight. Relaxing the upper trapezius and the beta scapula. And as you exhale, unwind the arms. Give them a little roll, a little shake out. We're going to come into the other side. Open the arms back into cactus, bring the forearms towards each other and cross the right upper arm over top of the left this time. You're going to inhale, lift up. Lift those elbows up, take the hands towards the crown of the head. And as you exhale, start to round forward, but we're not collapsing the belly. We're keeping space in the belly and moving the elbows towards the knees. That's going to give you the best opening in the upper back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round and extend. Keep the movement going with your breath. You can do most of the poses today on your mat. If you happen to be in your yoga gear on your mat, then great. Work on your mat. You don't have to be at the desk. One more time, lifting and lowering. And bring yourself back up to center. And from here, tilt the forearms to the right and the head to the left. Relax through the shoulders. Slow, deep breath. There's all the different spaces that have been accessed here. Keeping the elbows up, it's really easy to start to drop them down. Maintain that lift in the elbows. And as you next inhale, bring the head and the arms back. Circle the arms around, flop them around a bit. We're going to come up to standing. You can move your chair off to the side if you're at your desk, or just move off to where you can have a little bit of room. And from here, we're going to take our feet together so that the knees are just touching as well, and bend into the knees. Buttocks are dropping and the belly is in and the arms are lifting. Sinking into Utkatasana. And then bring the arms straight out in front of you. We're going to inhale, open the left arm back behind you, and exhale, bring the left hand towards the right. Inhale, right arm back behind you. Exhale, right hand to left. Keep moving through these poses. Easy twist from one side to the other. Trying to maintain the knees in a straight line with each other. So as the left arm comes back, don't let the right knee inch forward. Keep it completely still and balanced. Again, as we do with most dynamic poses, work with your breath. Inhale to open. Exhale to close. One more time. And exhale. And then standing up, give the legs a little shake out. You can come into that pose again. Feet together, knees together. Or if that's not comfortable for you, try taking everything a little bit apart. But make sure that your knees are staying in line with the toes. You're not knocking your knees together and putting strain on the inner tendons, ligaments, as they are, cruciate ligaments. And then from here, we're going to raise our arms up to start with. Then as you exhale, the left arm comes back and the right forearm comes down towards the thighs, the knee end of the thighs. We're coming into a twist and staying here. Deep, slow breaths. Feel the work in the thighs, the revolving across the spine and into the belly. You can look back towards your left hand. You can look down at the floor or sideways to the wall opposite you. And changing sides, seeing if you can stay down the whole time. I'm just going to turn around. This time the right arm comes back behind you, the left forearm comes down towards the legs. So you might find that your thighs are getting a little fatigued now. If you need to take a break, do so. Otherwise, keep breathing here. Feeling the twist. As you next inhale, bring yourself back up to stand, shaking those legs out. Inhale, raise the arms up. As you exhale, fold forward, taking the hands down the center line of your body. The feet can be a little apart now, about hip distance apart. Bend the left knee, keep the left hand down, keep the right leg straight, and open the right arm back up towards the ceiling. A little bit of hamstring opening as we're getting into our chest space. As you exhale, float the right hand back behind you. Bring the left hand up to meet it. Interlock the hands, straighten both legs, or you can have a bend in both, but just do the same in both legs. And then begin to extend your arms away from you, back behind the body. Opening more fully now into our shoulders. Keep the tips of the shoulders away from the floor. So you're pulling the humerus bone into its socket. As you exhale, release the hands, bring them down to the earth. We're going to change sides here. The right hand stays down, the right knee bends, and the left arm lifts up. Starting to get that more complete opening through the chest and bringing in some hamstring work. And as you exhale, straighten both legs. Bring your right hand up to meet the left. Interlock the hands. See if you can do it the opposite way than what's normal. So your other little finger is underneath. And then fold forward, keeping the tips of the shoulders pulled in, which means that your neck's got more room. When my shoulders drop down, my neck shortens, the space shortens. Even if it means you don't feel like you go as far, keep the heads of the shoulders pulled in. As you inhale, begin to bring yourself back upright, rolling the shoulders back and around, giving the arms a little shake out, the legs a little shake out. Then come into plank pose now. So if you're at your desk and you have a chair that's not going to slide away from you, then use your hands onto your chair. If that doesn't work for you, you can be in plank pose on the floor. It'll be definitely harder and you may want to have your knees on the floor. With plank, we're trying to find a straight line between the shoulder and the heel. So we haven't got our butt up in the air, but neither are we dipped in. We're a nice, straight, solid line. And we're going to do a little bit of transition here from hands down plank to elbows down plank. So from here, I'm going to take my right forearm to the floor or to the chair seat, and then my left forearm, and then my right hand, and then my left hand. So it's a very small change, but it's amazing how much work it takes. And you find that your body rolls a little bit with the movement down to the forearms and then onto the hand. And again down to the forearms and onto the hand. And then take a little moment here, pull back with your hips. Let the weight on your hands be easy. Straighten the legs and give it a little break. Give the whole body a little break. We're looking for roughly a 90-degree angle or less between the thighs and the belly. Depends on the height of your seat or whatever you're using. So if you were on your mat, you'd be in down dog. Or if you're on your chair like I am, you're more of a half Uttanasana. Then come forward and we're going to do that little movement with the press up the opposite way. So last time I started with my right hand. This time I'm going to bring my left forearm down. Right forearm joins in. Left hand, right hand. When you get really comfortable with this, you can begin to go a lot faster, or you can really slow it down and see how those muscles are being used. One more time. Making your way back up to standing. Give everything a little shake out. From here, as you inhale, raise your arms up above the head. On your exhalation, let the right arm come forward and circle it all the way around and back up to overhead. Take a breath in. As you exhale, take your left arm back behind you and all the way back up. Now we're going to do those two arm movements together. So the right arm is coming forward at the same time as the left arm is going back. Do it really slow-mo to get a feeling of what's happening. Then they cross over, and the other one, the right arm, starts to go back up and around, and the left arm is coming forward and up. So just to give you another little slow-mo demonstration, the right arm is coming forward, the left arm is going back. Take your time. So you've got one freestyle arm and one backstroke arm. And back up. When you get comfortable with this exercise, you can do it a lot faster. Right arm forward, left arm back, and you can see that there's a movement in my chest. When you get more comfortable, you can let your body move more. And the more that you move your chest and rotate it to each side with the movement of the arms, the more you're going to be wringing out the toxins in your liver. So pause it, let the arms rest down for a moment. It's a lot of work for the arms. Don't be surprised if they feel a bit tired afterwards. Inhale, raise the arms up. This time, we're going to exhale the left arm forward and circle it back. Take a breath in. Then we're going to exhale the right arm back and then bring it forward. These are the two movements that we're going to combine to make this exercise. So when you're ready, you can have as many practice rounds as you want. Laugh at yourself. Let the left arm come forward, the right arm back. And they change. The left arm starts the forward movement, the right arm starts the backward movement, and they just keep going in their full circle until they reach the top. As you get comfortable, you'll be able to go a little bit faster and go as quickly or as slowly as you'd like. Notice if you find one direction easier than the other, and if you find yourself doing freestyle, you're not alone, or maybe you find yourself doing backstroke. So that's good too. You're still moving those arms, but your brain is engaged and is active in the process. So what you want to try and find is the brain being able to say, right, arms in different directions, circling around, pause and change, arms going the opposite way to what they were before. Really, really good for our left, right brain, or just our brain in total. Think of the arms a little shake out, the legs a little shake out. It's a lot to take in, a lot to remember. And from here, we're going to do a little bit of anterior delt opening. So for me, it's kneeling next to my seat. You'll either be using a wall, you'll be using your desk, something that's stationary. I'm going to have my arm open along the back of my seat, have my body relatively steady, and then just turn towards the right, away from my left arm, to get that sensation into the front of the shoulder. Another way you can do it is kneeling on the ground and have the arm bent, that cactus arm, and then turn a little bit away from that arm. So we're looking for sensation through the front compartments of the shoulder. As I said, you can do it against a wall, with the hand on the wall or the bent forearm on the wall. And take a few breaths, slowly letting it sink in. Especially after doing an exercise that's a little bit energetic, it's nice to have something slow. Relax the belly, soften the shoulders. Releasing that arm, coming to the other side. Again, you can be upright with the arm straight. If I had a wall here, I might just have my wrist bent backwards or my hand bent backwards and the palm of the hand on the wall. And a little turn to the left, away from the arm we're trying to stretch. You'll feel the anterior delt. When you put your hand up there, there'll be a little bit of activity in that space. Or you could have the knees more fully bent, so your buttock is towards your heels. And the arms bent perhaps, or straight, whichever option works for you. We're just trying to get that feeling of openness along the front of the shoulder. Notice the quality of your breath. Anytime you get caught up in your thoughts, you focus back to the present moment, back to the body, back to the breath. Accidents or injuries happen when we're not paying attention. So if you're aware of every breath, you're aware of every movement in your body. And as you exhale, release that arm, give your shoulders a roll. For this next exercise, you need a surface that is at least as high as this chair is on me, towards the top of your thigh, if not higher. If you're using a chair, it really helps to have someone sitting in it. The edge of a desk could work. The edge of a bench at home can work as well. You want to hold whatever you're getting hold of. Take your feet a nice distance apart and bend the knees so you can sink down into a little bit of a squat. Try and take your feet wide enough apart that you have the heels on the floor. Now this doesn't work very well for me. I've got no leverage because no one's sitting on my chair. So I've got nothing to pull back against. But what you need is something that's heavy enough that you can sink back into it, holding on strongly with the hands, and you'll get a stretch in the upper back and side of the arms. And yeah, we're working the hips as well because we're in Namasana, it's a squat. But really what the focus on here is giving you some release through the upper back. So I'm just pretending that my chair is heavy and focusing my attention on the muscles of the upper back, encouraging them to let go and get a little bit of stretch. And as you inhale, gently lift up. Keep the hands on whatever surface you're using, walking your feet back until you've got that roughly 90-degree angle between your belly and your thighs. Stretching the hands forward, pushing down into the big toe mound of the foot and lifting upward through the inner leg. So keep those legs strong. Another breath here. A good way to tell if you're working your legs is to take your toes off the floor. Your toes, not your heels. With the toes lifted, it helps to activate the legs. Maintain the activity, then release the toes back down. Then we're going to come into that squat again. So take the feet a nice wide distance apart, sink the buttocks back. Hold on to your support and use the support to let yourself get a stretch across the upper shoulders and the arms. You can stay here for a good long while. If it's comfortable for you. You could stay for a minute or two. And as you inhale, push into your feet, lift yourself up. Bring the backs of your elbows to whatever you're using. Not the elbow tip, but the back of the arm close to the elbow. Bring the palms together in prayer position. Walk the feet back so that you've got that 90-degree angle again. Sink down. Open the armpits towards the floor. Again, activate the legs. You can lift the toes to get that movement, that pulling in, the sucking towards the bones. Tiny lift in the belly, big breath. And as you next exhale, bend the knees, walk your feet back in. And find your comfortable seat, or if you're on a mat, you might like to lie down, have a little bit of Shavasana. Once you're in position, let the whole body relax, the eyes fall closed. Take some slow, deep breaths. With the work that we've achieved during this last half hour, notice what's going on for you and how you might feel now compared to earlier. In honour of your practice, Namaste.